Sayulita, Mexico completely took us by surprise. The beaches were completely stunning. We did a boat tour that honestly blew our minds and was the best day of the trip. And this town has more character than anywhere we've stayed in Mexico. And there's a few things that no other travel video I watched before coming here actually talked about. So this is Sayulita Explained. And by the way, I'm Matt, and me and my family have been traveling the world full time for 6 years. And we've been to some of the most beautiful destination locations on the planet. So when we say that Sayulita surprised us, that really means something. There's 10 things we're gonna go over in this travel guide of Sayulita. So let's go ahead and get into it. There are 4 main different beaches in Sayulita, and every single one is worth visiting, especially the last one. So beach 1 is the main Playa Sayulita. This is the beach you see in every single photo here of Sayulita. It has all the beach bars, surf lessons, vendors, all the action is really down here in this area. The waves here are slow and beginner friendly, and it's one of the best places in Mexico to learn to surf. Just know it does get crowded, but if you want energy and people, this is definitely your beach. Beach number 2 is North Playa Sayulita. Just walk about 10 minutes north and it's a completely different vibe. Less crowded, calmer water, and it's genuinely better for swimming, and this is where we spent most of our time. And honestly, it became our favorite spot of the whole trip. Beach number 3 is Los Muertos Beach, which literally translates to the beach of the dead. And a super tip here is go at sunrise and climb on the rocks. Because of the way the bay curves, this is the one beach in Sayulita where you can actually see the sun come up over the water. Climb up on the rocks with a full view, and that's where all the wildlife is as well. I got some epic drone shots up there that were my favorite of the entire trip. And beach 4 is the hidden cave beaches. There's a few different names of it. Here it is on Google Maps, so you can see what it looks like when you go to find it yourself. It's not that hard to get there, but I would recommend going early before the heat sets in, and if you can time it correctly, go at low tide. That's when you can get all the access to the caves. Low tide is when you can actually go into the caves and do some fun little exploring in there, and it's definitely a spot you do not want to miss. It's pretty magical. Section 3, the town. What I loved most about Sayulita was that it hit this rare balance. It did feel touristy, but somehow it felt really local at the same time. It had real culture and real character, but it wasn't overwhelming. You could tell that tourism had become the main industry here in Sayulita, but somehow it still works. There were super local taco stands right next to really nice boutique-styled restaurants. And the cobblestone streets, the color, the artwork just surrounding you all over the place here. And those aspects of Sayulita are what we really fell in love with. This town is genuinely fun to just walk around in and get completely lost. And here's the best plan you can have. Show up, walk around, stumble into something awesome, leave, and then stumble into something else awesome. And that's the kind of trip that you can have here in Sayulita. But speaking of walking around, section 4 is all about golf carts. And if there's really one piece of advice that I would suggest for you, it is to rent a golf cart. The main street and the beaches are really fantastic to walk through. But what the golf cart unlocked for us was everything else. The small side streets, the little alleys, the corners of town that you would never find on foot. Because on these little side streets were hidden shops, local restaurants tucked behind walls, incredible houses with tile work and color and details that you would just walk right past otherwise or not see at all. And honestly, some of our favorite moments of the trip were just driving around town with no destination, turning down random streets to see what was there, and that's when Sayulita really opened up for us. Now, I do have a full driving tour of Sayulita, so if you really want to understand the layout of town, that's the video that you're going to watch. I'll put it right up here and also link in the description. It pairs perfectly with this one. Now, fair warning on price. Online, you'll see golf carts listed from $30 to about $50, but we went with a more expensive option at about $70 a day. It was pricey, but there are a lot of cases that I've read online and even heard from a couple people in person that some of these other random spots claim that there was damage that was either there before or wasn't really there and tried to keep the charge on somebody's account. So we found a really reputable, nicer hotel that we rented from. That hotel and where we rented from is within the travel guide. So don't make the mistake of going with just the cheap option because it's cheap. And just to be clear, you do not need a rental car in Sayulita. Don't even try. Honestly, the streets are too small. There's not really any parking, and you'd be better off just either walking or getting a golf cart. So section 5 is where to stay. Now let's talk about where to stay because this decision really shapes your whole experience of the town. So Sayulita has two really different energies depending on where you're actually at in town. The main downtown area near the plaza in the south and the beach is where all the action is. It's great if you want to walk out your door and be in the middle of all the action, but not so great if you have a reasonable bedtime. It is kind of the party area of town, and there are parties happening pretty much every single night. So we stayed on the north end of town, which kind of has more of those luxury condos and luxury apartments, and it's a bit quieter. And it was absolutely the right call. We went with my mom, her husband, my daughter, my wife, and we just wanted a nice, cozy stay. It is a little bit of a walk to get in town, but we rented a golf cart, so that was irrelevant anyways. Okay, so section 6 is all about safety. Is it really safe here in Sayulita, especially traveling with a family? I want to address something directly because Sayulita is really close to Puerto Vallarta where all that cartel action happened, and a lot of families and people are thinking about that right now before they travel here. Sayulita is one of the safest places we have taken our family by far, or at least that's how we felt on the trip. Sayulita has its own tourist police. Their whole job is to make sure that people like us, tourists, feel safe and protected. And that's definitely not in every single destination town in Mexico. But just beyond that, walking around at night, going anywhere we wanted felt completely safe. There was never really any weird character that gave us the EBGBs, nothing like that. So Sayulita was great for families as well. Not just because it was safe, but because it had everything for everybody, like different food options. If my daughter wanted a hamburger, we could find a street vendor with a hamburger, or tacos or sushi. Like it really had all of it. And plus the town is just super walkable and easy to navigate. Section 7 is the vendor market. This is one thing you do not want to miss when you come here to Sayulita, especially if you're looking to get some Mexican souvenirs. It is a road of just vendor after vendor after vendor, and this is the spot to come do some shopping. It opens up around 9 a.m. and then closes around 5 p.m. So just go between that time. And one thing to know is that prices are negotiable. They will always start off at a higher price, and it's customary for you to negotiate down. It's just in these type of areas, it's not like they're doing anything wrong. They just know if they ask for a higher price, they're really likely to get it. But you can absolutely say, oh, no, thank you, or hey, I only have this much to give you. And oftentimes they will negotiate down. Section 8, Sayulita at night. Now you definitely do not want to skip out on Sayulita at nighttime. And I'm not talking about like 12 a.m. or midnight or anything. I just mean enjoy the sunset on the beach and then walk into town. Just get lost for about an hour or two walking around once the sun goes down. That's when so much of the town comes alive. All of the street vendors are out. The locals are hanging out in the plaza with the mariachi bands, and there's a lot of locals that vacation in Sayulita as well. It's not just pretty for us tourists coming from America or other places in the world. A lot of Mexicans like to vacation there as well. So it's just so much fun to just experience and see the culture and everybody having a great time. So section 9 is all about activities. For activities, surfing is obviously a really big one here in Sayulita. It's known for it. And now when I was there, unfortunately, there was like no waves. But it was the perfect time for beginners to learn. There are tons of surf shops to rent board from, and even if you go and find lessons, it's really easy. Just walk the beach, you'll find them. And if you ever wanted to try surfing, Sayulita is a fantastic place to start. But the highlight activity of our entire trip was definitely our boat tour with Chica Loca. Now, to be honest, it does have a little bit of a booze cruise type vibe, but it was genuinely a good time. And I'm sober and I don't drink any alcohol at all. Shanti came along, my mom and her husband did. We had a fantastic time. They took us out to the Muertos Islands, which are absolutely beautiful. We got to swim around, snorkel, and crawl through the caves. The boat was loaded with food and unlimited drinks. There were slides going off the second story, people jumping into the water, great snorkeling, and our daughter got to reel in probably the biggest fish of her entire life, which was totally unexpected, and she loved it. And the staff and crew were really excellent. Really attentive and really fun to be around. And one thing to note is that you do not have to be in Sayulita to book this tour. If you're in Puerto Vallarta, Nuevo Nayarit, or Sayulita, or any of the surrounding areas, you can book this tour, and they all launch from the marina in Nuevo Nayarit. So it's pretty convenient. Highly recommend this. This was one of the most fun days that we had in Sayulita. The link to Chica Loca's website is in the description below. And also, if you buy the travel guide from us, there is a discount code in there too to get some money off. Section 10 is all about the food. There is no shortage of food options in Sayulita. We went to El Camion on the north side of town. It's a super low-key spot, nothing fancy, but the food was genuinely delicious. They're known for their burgers and hot dogs, which sounds random, but we also got tuna sashimi there, which was really good. Great prices, chill vibe, worth checking out. For a splurge meal, we went to the Dock. It's one of the higher end spots in town, and yes, it was our most expensive meal, but it's right on the beach. The atmosphere is great, and the food was actually really good. It didn't feel like a tourist trap at all. It felt like a restaurant that earned the price tag. And on the north side of town, there was a pizza place that was legitimately good. Not just good for Mexico good, but delicious pizza. And we'll have the name linked in our travel guide. For tacos and local Mexican food, there are so many delicious options. In our travel guide is links and locations to all the spots that we tried and really enjoyed. Okay, but honestly, the single best advice that I could give you for the food scene in Sayulita is just go walk around, get lost, and eat everything that looks good. If something smells good, looks good, go try it. And that's really the way to experience the food culture here in Sayulita, Mexico. One of the things missing from all the other videos about Sayulita was actually how to navigate town, where things are, and how to understand the layout. So what we did is we made a full driving tour of the town, uncut, unfiltered, in the golf cart, driving around town, giving you the full layout with the map attached on screen so you can take screenshots, go to locations that you see that look really cool, and understand the layout of the town. That video is linked right here and also in the description below. 17 minutes, but you will love it. Okay, now back to this video here. Section 11 is getting here. How do you get to Sayulita from the airport? So we rented a private van, which was honestly incredibly seamless. And here's a pro tip that genuinely changed our trip. We stopped at a Walmart on the way because there's no real grocery stores inside of Sayulita. Just small convenient shops, and everything's a little bit more expensive. So if you want like a 12-pack of sparkling water, snacks, or anything resembling a proper grocery run, you're not gonna find it once you're there. So stock up before you arrive. If you want to use Uber to get from the airport to Sayulita, you just have to go over the pedestrian bridge outside the airport, and that's where you can call Uber. Uber cannot go into the airport to pick you up, just FYI. Also, that's where the bus takes you to Sayulita as well. You can literally see the bus that says Sayulita on the windshield and just hop on it. For all the specifics, like the company that we use to rent the van, the prices of everything, those are linked in our travel guide. Now, if I had to sum up Sayulita in just a few sentences, it would be this. It's one of those towns that's just worth getting lost in. The beaches are incredible, the food is everywhere, and almost all of it is good. It's genuinely safe. We never felt anything but comfortable the entire time, even with our daughter. And it has this rare combination of feeling local and easy at the same time. Around 2018, Sayulita blew up on Instagram and became very popular. And one of the things that we've experienced while traveling the world is all of these beautiful places that are amazing to visit eventually get loved to death. So if you want to get there before Sayulita is spoiled, I would go soon. So that's all for this travel guide to Sayulita. Please like and subscribe to Their Happy Trails, and see you on the next one.